hopefully you won't be caught up in the pursuit of trying to get rich too fast. Because look at whatever it is that you make at your job. I know it's not enough, even for the folks that are like surgeons in my mentorship that do very, very well. They can say they're happy with what they earn, but if they could make more, they would be very pleased to do it. So enough is never enough when it comes to earning potential. But when you're learning, when you're trying to find consistency, when you're trying to find your way through this for profitability, you got to determine a low threshold for enough. Like you have to find that for yourself and be content with that, and then stretch gently outside that boundary for the next objective that you're going to strive for. Because you don't know where that threshold is that's going to cause you to snap and you break away from rules. And there's that little sweet spot that you have to discover for yourself. Nobody has ever talked about it. Mark Douglas ain't said shit about it. No disrespect to the man. I know his book is referred to as Trader Psychology Bible. A lot of good points in it. But there's a point at which where when you go through your approach to trading, whatever that model is, whatever that thing it is that you're using to get the buy and sell signals that's generating in your screens that tells you to do something, whether it's manually decided discretionary trading, or if it's automated and it's generated by some kind of a, EA or an algorithm that spits out something that tells you to do this or do that. Whatever it is that you're doing, when you're applying real risk to it and you got money behind it, when that happens, your focus is going to be drawn to the results of the trade. And that transition from when you're trading with no money and you're just tape reading, you're just watching, reading price, then you're demo trading, or maybe I should say it this way, paper trading. Before you get to that stage, you want to be doing like mock backup and look at the old data, like a market replay type thing. I'm not a big fan of it. I just, I have to be very careful how I say it, because I know it's helped a lot of my students and they found profitability after doing exercises with those things. So in recent months, I've applied it as a step, but it's never really been a step, in my teachings. And I've had profitable students, without the necessary requirement of using market replay. But truth be told, if I had the access to that when I was coming up, I would have worn it out. Like I would have used it a lot. And I believe it would have helped me. But I'm an old dog. It's hard to learn, new tricks. I have a way, okay? And my way, I think, is superior to everybody else's. And that's the part that pisses people off. And I get it. But it'll go away in November. But you have to find that sweet spot in your execution with real money. Where do you separate yourself from following the rules of the model? Like where does that happen? What do I mean by that? Let's just, for sake of discussion here, let's just say that Brian, there is no Brian, it's just some proverbial imaginary person I'm using for the case study here, just like Carl. There is no Carl, but you all know him at work. Brian sets out to learn how to do ICT type trading. He watches videos. He really watches the videos. He doesn't just skim through them. He doesn't fall asleep. He doesn't use them as lullabies. He's going through and he's taking notes, copious amounts of notes. And then once he takes the notes, he's referring to those notes and thinking to himself, how does this apply to me? What would I do with this information? How would I really use this information? Would I be really adhering to this idea, or would I be undisciplined and ignore it? Would I be organized to have my chart set up to anticipate something happening within a 60-minute window? Would I be likely to abandon this approach or model, whatever it is that you're trying to trade with, because I have lots of ways of using the PD arrays. Would you quickly abandon one of them to go for another one because you've watched another student? So this is what I did. And you want to do that, not knowing that what you're trying to learn can produce the same types of results too. It's just the money management aspect. That part is hard for some of you. And in fact, if I was honest, I think it's hard for most of you, because you want to get to the doing, the making of the money, being part of that crowd. That crowd that has consistent, profitable traders that reside in it, whether it be my community or another, they earned it. They earned that. It's not flash in a pan. It's not over leverage, get through a combine, get funded, get lucky after losing several dozens of funded accounts and just resetting and then finally getting one. And then that's the one you're going to show online. If I was a shyster, if I was a con artist, I would have laced this stuff to make it sound like it's get rich quick. And I could have sat in here and told you, okay, it's going to go up from here and we're going to buy it here and we're going to sell it here. We're going to take our partials here. Here's where our stop is. Roll your stop here. I could do that. And a large portion of you would all think that you were good traders flexing online. Yeah. You ain't like us. Or ICT, baby, we're representing. Throwing your gang signs up. Because you would be living vicariously as a trader through what I'm providing. As a 20-year-old, that was exactly what I intended to do. Because team mentality is very, very strong when it comes to competition type things. Look at sports. I don't like sports. I don't like baseball. I don't like football. I wear a Yankee cap once in a while. I'm not a Yankee fan. I couldn't tell you one player's name on the Yankee team. For $1 billion, I couldn't tell you. I just think it's an all-American type thing, and I like the logo. But the team mentality, when you're marketing something, real strong. Real strong. And I know that that is useful from a marketing standpoint. And you have fallen victim to other people that have done that, throwing materialistic things, cars and whatnot, to try to get your attention. And when I teach and when I talked about things, and I've never ran ads, I just said, my shit's better than everything else. Come prove otherwise. And nobody has. And word of mouth, it's spread. You, in your pursuits of trading, would have been caught up in that if I just would have said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to trade this. As much as you would all love me more for doing so, all I would be doing is holding you back. I have students out there that are getting ready to cross over the $1 million net profit threshold only from YouTube. Let me say that again. I have students that are about to cross over $1 million fucking dollars in net profits. Not fucking market replay, not demo dollars, not combine money, real fucking money. Where's the $1 million fucking students everywhere else? I told you, folks. I fucking told you. If you listened, you follow the rules, and you learn about yourself, discover what it is that's going to cause you to go off the rails. And then you fight really hard to not do that. Everything that you're looking to do will come to you in its perfect timing. It's going to be perfectly timed when you get there and you are finding your consistently profitable model where you're never going to change anything. You're not going to change shit. You don't care. You don't care what I'm writing in a book. You don't give a shit about watching my old videos anymore. You're not going to go back and learn something a little bit more about you're done. You found that thing, just like your job when you go to work. They expect you to do the same thing every workday, for the most part. And then if you put your time in and you prostitute yourself, you get paid out at the end of the week or every 2 weeks. How long did you submit to waiting to get that skill set to learn to do the job you're doing right now? How long did it take for you to get over that butterfly feeling of, I gotta learn this job so that way I know I'm confident that I won't be made redundant and fired? Are you thinking about trading the same way? If not, why not? That's a process. You went through and you submitted to a process with a goal in mind that was a deferred result that was not assured to you. It was not promised that you would have gainful employment. It was not promised to you. The opportunity was laid before you. Trading is just like that for all of us. Today, later today, there'll be a market driver at 8:30. You'll either not be a participant of it or you'll fall victim to it. And you'll have experience from that. All of that allows you to build more understanding about how you are going to engage with these markets. Some of you that are highly organized, highly disciplined, and it's a small portion of you, because by far and large, humans are not generally those types of characteristics predominantly in any one of us, really. That's an exceptional breed. I'm not that. I had to do those things and force myself to do that because my attention is easily diverted. I have a very short attention span. I'm easily irritated, bipolar. I have all kinds of reasons that make it harder for me. And they're not fucking decisions. Okay. They're impulses that sometimes I can't control. Once something starts happening, I got to run after it. I got to chase it. You're going to discover that's probably something that you never discovered about yourself. And you can't let that occur in your trading. Otherwise, it will undermine you. It'll undermine your development. Even if you are profitable, all it takes is a small episode for that to happen. If you have no discipline, you have no self-control, and you are reckless, you can undermine a week's worth, a month, or an entire account. You can be done one day.